Welcome, everyone. This is Mike Dotterer, and we're on the dot. And we've got a great show for you. Actually, it's a pre show for a bigger show that we've got brewing at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And right now on the East Coast where I am, it's 14 degrees. And on the West Coast, let me just see here. Let's pick out let's see what the temperature is on the West Coast. So it's 14 degrees right now where I am on the East Coast, and I'm in the Northeast, not down in Florida, which Florida is, I'm sure, much warmer. But on the West Coast, it is. Let's just see. Well, 63 in the San Joaquin Valley. Let's see. Only 53 in Reno, Nevada. And 62 in Viva Las Vegas. Boy, those Raiders, I was pulling for the Raiders, and tough loss, but it was great to see the Raiders come back after a lot of adversity. So I take my hat off to the team, to the coaches that took over. So happy that they made it to the playoffs. Hopefully, with a new general manager, whoever that is, that general manager probably the most critical position in the Raider organization. And if they can get someone like Ron Wolf, and many of you may not know the name Ron Wolf, but Ron Wolf, he's in the NFL Hall of Fame, probably one of the greatest general managers of all time. And he worked closely with Mr. Davis, I believe in the 60s, definitely in the 70s, in the 80s. And then he went off to Green Bay to help Mike Holmgren and Brett Favre win a couple Super Bowl championships. So if the Raiders can find another Ron Wolf, and again, those are big shoes to fill, but if they can find someone like a Ron Wolf, I would suspect that the Raiders will be back. This portion of On the Dot is being sponsored by Üforia. You can see I'm wearing Üforia. I've got Üforia, all the fun places in the back here. If you don't know what Üforia is, you can go to this generic link, Üforia.com. I'll bring it up at the bottom. Let me just see if I can get it here. I'll let it stream down at the bottom. Here it is. There you go. You can go to euphoriascience.com. And our special guest on the dot, he said he's going to come on in about let's see here, 13 minutes. And I don't have trouble talking. So if you want to get, hopefully I can entertain you. You know, that's the goal. I want to entertain, take your mind off of the whatever's going on in your life that's not glass half full. And that's what I want to talk about. Let everyone know it is the most exciting time in human history to do whatever you want to do. I mean, it truly is amazing. You know, a lot of times, we go up and down with emotions, and trust me, my emotions have been the last couple of years all over the map. And I want to thank, actually, a shout out to Virginia and Tom Yerrick for starting a company called Club Nirvana. And I want to thank them because Club Nirvana is focused on cannabis. And cannabis has truly been a godsend for me. Cannabis and Üforia. And I mean, just to give you an idea of how excited I am about cannabis and Üforia together, is that my brother, Dara, brought over a friend to the house today. And this was a nice young lady. And, we started talking, and she's a student over, one of the local colleges. And we started talking about health and wellness. And she said, Mike, how old are you? And I said, well, how old do you think I am? And she said, well, you look like about 45. And probably one of the reasons, I mean, I probably look older than 45, but she said 45. I think why she went with that is because of my energy level. And the reason I have energy is what I put in my system. It's just like an automobile. If you put the right fuel in your engine, you're going to get better gas mileage. You're going to get, your engine's going to run smoother. Well, it's the same thing with your human body. So if I ever don't feel good, my go-to is cannabis. And if you want to research cannabis, it's all over the internet. So that's my go-to if I don't feel good. But I usually feel great, and I would attribute it to getting the proper nutrition based on my unique DNA. I don't go to the store and just look at, all of these supplements and just guess what we call blind nutrition. And our guest that we're going to have on in a few, like 10 minutes, his name is Quentin Meeks, and he's a two-time, I believe, Rose Bowl champion, or at least he's definitely on one time, because I watched him in the Rose Bowl in front of 100,000 people intercept the ball and run, must have been like 80 yards for a touchdown. And can you imagine what that's like in front of 100,000 people? Well, he did it, and then he went on. He's an NFL player. It's been an interesting year for him because of this, time we're living in with the virus. But hopefully he'll talk a little bit about his experience. He's kind of going through the same thing Mr. Djokovic, the tennis player, went through in Australia, which I feel really bad. I mean, I really feel bad that they didn't let him play. Tennis, you're separated. You can wear masks. For whatever reason, I'm vaccinated, but if you don't want to get vaccinated, that it's your body. That's how I feel. That's just me. I know there's a lot of people who are really angry about that situation, because I think what's happened is people think, well, if you don't get vaccinated, you're going to get the virus, whether it was the COVID or the Delta or the Omicron, whatever the different variants are. And then you're going to take up a place in a hospital that could have been, there may be someone with a heart condition or something. So I do understand that concern. I would say, please do your research on cannabis. I think actually there was a report that came out last week, and you write cannabis and viruses, and it fights off viruses. I mean, it's amazing. I wasn't feeling too good the other day. I don't know why. I may have eaten something wrong. Well, what I did is I took a gummy, sucked on the gummy like a lozenger, and then I took a sleep tablet, because you can have tablets that are infused with THC, and I was able to sleep. It was unbelievable. The next morning, felt like $1 million, because sleep is so critical to your health. So again, Üforia, cannabis, you're definitely onto something there. So we've got a double header. This on the dot's going to probably end. I'm going to say probably end at 6:30. At 7 o'clock, we've got the John Wooden of tennis. We talk about Djokovic and what happened in Australia. Well, this man, he won 17 NC2A championships. John Wooden only won 11. I believe it's 11. This is NC2A tennis championships, and he coached John McEnroe, Roscoe Tanner, and many, many others. And everyone knows him. He's the John Wooden of tennis. We're going to have him on. We're going to talk about the changing world of college athletics. So that's Dick Gould on the dot. And we're going to have Quenton Meeks on the dot. Quenton Meeks will be coming on shortly, hopefully. But before he comes on, I want to wish happy birthday. We've got some happy birthdays today. I want to wish happy birthday to my good friend Evelyn Wilkins, who got her undergraduate degree at Cornell. And she went on and got her master's at NYU. And I met Evelyn back in 1986 when I took a job with the Business Council for the United Nations in New York. And Evelyn was amazing. And I'm just a big fan of yours, Evelyn. I left you a message. Give my love to your beautiful husband and your son. And I just want to say happy birthday to Evelyn and all the great work that you're doing at the United Nations. There's an organization called UN Women. And if you want to look her up, you You can UN Women Evelyn Wilkins, and you'll find her. She's doing great work with women all over the world. Happy birthday to Evelyn. And happy birthday today to my fellow Stanford football cardinal, Wayne LaRock. It's Wayne's birthday today, and Wayne has some LaRockisms, and I will read these to you. I posted them on my Facebook, and let me just read to you a few LaRockisms. All right. Okay. The first one, and I love this one. The first one is college athletics is semi-professional today, and soon the semi will be retired. Meaning we're moving toward professional athletics in college. So that's what we're going to talk with Coach Gould at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Another LaRockism is, I'm at an age where the things I remember best may not have happened at all. And he attributed Mark Twain as saying that. And we looked it up, and actually Mark Twain said something similar, but it was different in the way Wayne put it together. I think it's easier to understand the way Wayne, is mentioning that. And it's funny, I'm at an age where things I remember best may not have happened at all. So makes me laugh. And then the final LaRockism is, I've got a rough side, but I'm not an ordained minister. So that was funny. And he's a funny guy. So there you go. Happy birthday, Wayne. We love you, brother. And happy birthday to John Baker. John Baker was a great catcher at UC Berkeley, University of California, Berkeley. His father was Dave Baker, was an outstanding, great catcher at Stanford. And that's how I met John. I met John when he was just a little kid, and remember calling Coach Esker, I think it was either Coach Esker, who was at Cal, who's now at Stanford, about John Baker. And he went to Cal and had a great college career and then went on to the major leagues. And it's his birthday today, John. Happy birthday. I don't know if you're still working for the Cubs, but if you are, they're lucky to have you. Happy birthday to Jackie McKay Gobert. And Jackie's probably not listening to this, but she's a wonderful woman and mother of 3 beautiful children, and married to Claude Gobert. And shout out to Jackie. So happy birthday, Jackie. Happy birthday to Steve Juarez. Steve turned 65 today, and Steve's an amazing fella. I played golf with him probably 20 years ago and met him through a good friend of mine named Nathan Brostrom, who is very well known in the state of California because he's one of the leading administrators for the state of California UC, the state system, the UC system. So happy birthday to Steve, and happy birthday to my old boss at, I believe it was, I don't think it was Nextel. I think it was McCaw, but maybe it was Nextel. It kind of merged together because there was McCaw Cellular, which was Craig McCaw's company. And then I went to go work for a company called Nextel. This was, 30 years ago. And it was my first real job. And one of my bosses in the telecom world, and a great guy, tremendous energy, was Paul Harris. I believe he's now in the executive recruiting business. So happy birthday, Paul. And guess who turns 92 today? I did not meet him, but I met one of his contemporaries, the former astronaut that went into space, John Glenn. I had the opportunity to meet Senator Glenn, but this was his colleague at NASA who stepped on the moon, or was on the moon with Neil Armstrong, and that's Buzz Aldrin, 92 years old for Buzz. And for those of you that don't think we really got to the moon, well, Buzz Aldrin he'll take you up on that. So we did get to the moon, because there's people that say, oh, well, you didn't really get to the moon. Well, I know Buzz would look you in the eye and say, no, we did get to the moon, and we're going to Mars. There's no doubt that we are going to Mars and beyond. It's in our spirit. It's in the human spirit to explore. If you go back to Magellan and Christopher Columbus and Sir Francis Drake, all of them that came across the Atlantic Ocean. It's in our DNA, and so we're going to continue to explore, to go where no man has gone before, to coin the phrase, which was, um, oh, let's see here. Let me just see. Hold on here. Nope, he's not on yet. Okay, I just wanted to see if he's come on. So happy birthday, Buzz Aldrin! And guess who else turns 66? I think his mother was Jewish and his dad was Catholic. I think so. And he's a funny guy and he's very witty. I mean, he's got a show. He's had a show for probably 25, 30 years on the cable networks. And that's Bill Maher. Bill Maher turned 66 today. So, Bill, I'm only 5 years behind you, brother. So there you go. And then Lorenzo Lamas, famous actor, turned 64 today. He's got me by 3 years. And finally, the Kiss band member, Paul Stanley, turned 70 today. So happy birthday to Paul Stanley. What else can we talk about? Well, a subject that I'm really excited about, and many of you might know this if you listen to me or you hear me talk about it, if we're in a conversation, is Bitcoin. I'm very excited about Bitcoin, very excited about what's going on in Bitcoin City, which is down in El Salvador. If you get a chance, you want to definitely listen to Stacy and Max Kaiser. Stacy Hibbert and Max Kaiser. You can go on YouTube and listen to their broadcasts. They're usually on Russian television, but they also have their own podcast. And they're just really intelligent people. Stacy went to UCLA. Max went to NYU, worked in Wall Street, many years ago. And Stacy's very intelligent. I mean, they're two really intelligent people who I believe want the world to be a better place. And Bitcoin is a disruptive asset class. And there's a lot of things going on there, but it's exciting. And they're down in El Salvador in Bitcoin City, right next to the volcano, which is going to generate power for the mining of Bitcoin. And the other exciting news is Argentina is coming online. So you're going to see Argentina as the next country that is going to, I believe, embrace Bitcoin. So there you have it. And now we have our special guest. Here he is. He's coming on live. There he is, the Q Meister. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
Hey, you know us Pegasi. You know how we can roll.
That's right. That's right. All right, rolling with the flow.
Yeah. So I've been yapping away, and the purpose of On the Dot is for Michael to just keep my mouth shut, put the masking tape, because there's people out there watching this saying, "Yay, Mike's gonna listen." So with that, Q, you know the drill, brother. So just let people know, because there's people right now watching this On the Dot. They don't know who you are. They don't know where you grew up. Why don't you talk about, start where you were born, talk about your mom and dad, how you got to Stanford, just talk about your background. And I'm going to go on mute here.
Okay. So a little bit about myself. I was born in Knoxville, Tennessee in 1997. Raised mostly in Atlanta, Georgia. Finished my high school out in San Diego, California. That took me up to Palo Alto, California, where I attended school at Stanford. And from there, went 2018 undrafted to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And since then, I've had a 3-year NFL career. Been on 3 different teams: the Jaguars, the Chargers, and the Tennessee Titans. And my dad, former NFL coach with many teams, most notably the Indianapolis Colts, where he's the defensive coordinator and won the Super Bowl with Tony Dungy, Peyton Manning, and the crew. And my mom, she is a retired flight attendant for American Airlines. And I have a great family. I'm very, very happy with that. And I'm just out here living in Southern California right now. Um, just training, staying ready for the NFL for next year, and just teaching people, sharing with people about DNA nutrition, and trying to help people live healthier. So,
Yes, indeedy. I'm glad you mentioned Euphoria because you could see I'm all euphoriaized here, right?
yeah, baby, you got it all. Got all.
Hey, I can even go to switch and go to the white hat, baby. I can go
Ooh,
white or
okay.
black.
Oh, switch up the swag a little
Which one do
bit.
you? I gotta go with I gotta go. When you go with black, you can't go back. So I'm gonna go with that.
That's what they say, right?
Hey, so you have an amazing background. You really do. I mean, you have lived a great life. You've been, to great schools. You've been involved in a sport. American football is the most popular sport in the United States, and you are a professional. You're a professional athlete. But I do have to ask you because we like to get into it on the dot here. What happened to and I don't know how you pronounce his first name, but Djokovic, the tennis player.
Oh.
So yeah, so talk with me, brother. Talk with me.
Well, from my understanding, this is the number one tennis player in the world, and he wasn't allowed to participate in the Australia Open because he's not vaccinated. So, he was kicked out of the country because of that. And it's a lot of crazy things going on in the world right now. It's the reason why I'm not currently in the NFL right now because of the vaccine policies. So, it's very unfortunate what's happening in the world. It's especially in countries like Australia and Canada. It's kind of like people living in a big prison um, in certain places. So, um, I think he's being proactive about it. I think he just um, took a 80% stake in this biotech company, and he is now um, motivated to help find some treatments for COVID now. So a little bit of a similar path that I've taken in response to being not allowed to participate in sports because of the vaccine. So I joined Euphoria because of that reason. And so he's taking his steps and, taking a stake in this biotech company to help people not live in fear anymore. It's one of those things where people shouldn't be living in fear with this, and people should have choices, whether they choose to be vaccinated or choose not to be. That's there's multiple ways to protect yourself from viruses, multiple ways to protect yourself from COVID, and the vaccine is not the only way. Unfortunately, it's the only treatment that a lot of um, governments are accepting. But hopefully that's going to change soon. The Supreme Court just put a block on the vaccine mandate last week, and I just saw a couple days ago where Starbucks is actually reversing their vaccine mandate for their employees. So hopefully, with that ruling with the Supreme Court, more companies in America, at least, will follow suit, and hopefully around the world, because we're born free, and we should all have the right to choose what we do to our bodies. So.
Well, I know that this has affected your profession, and because you are about ready to make the Tennessee Titans team, and
Yeah,
look what the Titans are doing this weekend.
I know, number one seed in AFC and everything. But I'm happy for them. They have a very good ran franchise. Their head coach, Mike Vrabel, is an outstanding coach. I think he's up for Coach of the Year this year, which I feel like he deserves. He's the best head coach I've had in the NFL. I really respect the man, respect the way he runs that franchise, and they had a lot of things they had to overcome this year. A lot of injuries to some key players, and for them to still be the number one seed in the AFC, it really just is a testament to, Coach Vrabel and what type of program he runs there in Tennessee. So, no hard feelings to that organization. It's the whole NFL that's on this whole vaccine thing. So I wish the Titans all the best this upcoming week, and I hope they have much success in the playoffs.
Well, well said, and just let everyone know that one of the things that, and this would be the last question I'm going to ask you, because we try to just ask 3 questions, and the third question, and then you get to take it out. You get the last word. So I'm going to ask you a question, and then you can take it out. You can close it down, shut it down, whatever you want to say. But I want to ask you about how health and wellness. It's so important. I mean, if there's a saying: if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And just talk about what Üforia Science has done for you, and then let everyone know they can go to Üforia Science, but let people know about your link. They can also find out about, they can be inspired by you. So you get the last word, and then we'll don't hang up, because I want to talk with you. But we got it's only 6:26, so you can go for as long as you want. So, brother, I just want to thank you so much for coming on the dot, and we need to definitely have you on the dot on a more regular basis, especially since this a couple months ago we would go through the teams and stuff. I'd like to get your pick. You might want to talk about talk about who your picks are for the weekend, and then you get the last word. And again, love you, Q. Thank you, and the floor is yours, brother.
I appreciate you, brother. As far as nutrition and Üforia, I've been on the product officially for 4 months now, and it's already surpassed my expectations on what it can do for me. When you first introduced this company to me, I didn't really know everything to expect. I just knew it was a company that was all about natural health, and with everything going on right now, I've been really passionate about natural health really since last year. 2020. It's 2022 now. But when this, whole pandemic first hit, I did a lot of research on natural health and how, the foods you eat affect your body and how healthy you are. And, ever since I got into the NFL in 2018, every day I had a green smoothie, in the morning and then after practice. And I did that consistently, and it really helped me with my recovery, recovering after practice and being ready for the next day. And also, it helped me stay healthier. I can't remember the last time I've really been sick. I've taken over 100 COVID tests between 2020 and 2021. Never tested positive for COVID. Um, Not to say that I deserve a badge of honor for never testing positive, because it's not like it's a curse to get COVID. It's a very, very, very high survival rate, whether you're vaccinated or not. So for me, natural health is a big passion of mine now, and even more so since I've had my job taken away, my career I've worked my entire life for taken away because of health concerns going on in the world. And I'm very blessed to have Üforia in my life. I take my vitamins every single day, and I know that's making a huge impact on how I feel on my body. I'm no longer nutrient deficient. And even if you have a outstanding diet, yep, there it is, baby. All personal. Actually, my mom just got hers in a couple days ago, and it's actually very cool to see because hers looks totally different than mine. Her capsules are a totally different color than mine are, and it just shows that everybody's getting different stuff based on your genetics, even your parents. I looked at my mom's chart versus my chart, and we have a lot of similarities, but there's also some differences. So I see some of the differences I inherited those from my dad, not my mom. So it's very it's been a very amazing company to be a part of. The product's been making me feel amazing. I have a lot more energy on the field when I train, which is something that I wanted to address because I have asthma, and my entire life I've always been the player on my teams that had to work extra hard to stay in shape and be in condition. And I thought it all was linked to my asthma, but actually in my DNA report, I have a lot of cardiovascular markers from both of my parents. So through Euphoria, I'm taking a lot of things in my supplements that's addressing those issues, and I'm feeling it when I'm out there training. I'm having a lot more energy. I'm not running out of breath as easily as I used to, and I feel like it's not just the supplements I'm taking. I'm actually following my plan, following my DNA report, making sure I eat certain foods all the time, making sure I'm always eating leafy greens and fresh fruit every day, adding more salmon to my diet on a consistent basis. Just for certain things with certain genes like my PO in1 gene, which is all linked to my cardiovascular. So all of that has been just great for me, and this is something I'm going to use for the rest of my life. I am going to use this DNA report forever. I'm always going to refer to it as far as foods I need to avoid and also foods I need to make sure I intake. And then the vitamins themselves have been outstanding because I know every day I'm getting all the nutrients I need. And it doesn't mean that I can eat whatever I want, but it just gives me that assurance that whatever I do eat, I know that I'm still getting all the nutrients. And there's a big saying that Americans were overfed but nutrients. So however you say it, undernutrition. That's the word, right? Something like that. But we don't have enough nutrients, and 92% of Americans are vitamin deficient. And this company, I swear, it's the future of health. It's really the future of health. What other supplement can you take that's repairing your DNA? I don't know very many other ones out there. What other supplement has the best antioxidant in the world? Astaxanthin. There's so many things about this product that is really life changing, and I'm so blessed that you introduced me to it. And I'm very blessed that I'm able to share it with a lot of people. I've been able to share this with doctors. I've been able to share this with a lot of athletes, sharing this with gym owners, bodybuilders, you name it. And, it's something that I feel like it's the future of health. And even though I'm not playing the sport I love right now, I feel like I'm doing something more beneficial to society, and that's helping people live better, live healthier, and live longer. So I'm very passionate about that, and I look forward to the future of helping many, many people.